welcome back to episode 2 of the PHASECAST. This is what we're calling it.
Yeah.
Elliot is unavailable, so you're stuck with just these three Hibbert/Richardson men who are all related, unfortunately. And we're going to talk about films and TV and stuff. So take it away, Neil. What do you want to start with?
Well, we might as well start with the Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Got to say the.
Yeah. So is it episode 3 now we're on?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's good. I've seen it twice because I watched it with Bruce down here as well, and it kept me entertained both times. So that's saying something. But yeah, it's what I think they should do. They should have some sort of pre-watching and reading list so you can catch up with who the bloody hell these characters were. Because I can't remember. I was going, which film was he in? And Bruce was going, he's Zemo. He's in, So unless you revised it and you're up with the kind of timeline and the story, it's a bit. Who's she? Oh, she's Peggy Carter's daughter. Okay, it's just like I need to do a bit of research or pre-reading. But yeah, it was good. I mean, it's saying good to see Peggy Carter's daughter.
Yep.
Obviously, if you haven't seen Agent Carter the series, then thoroughly recommend that. I thought it was brilliant.
Would agree.
Very good casting for the leader. I can't remember her name, but top notch. But yeah, I just again really good, solid, enjoyable Marvel stuff, and what's not to like? So yeah.
What are your thoughts, Dan?
I thought it was good. I thought a lot. I know I talked to Elliot about this. I know he'll agree. A lot happened in a very short amount of time in this episode. It was good, but like they zoom from place to place because it's 40 minutes if you include all the top and tail they have on.
Yeah.
And they go from to like being where they were last episode to then freeing Zemo to then being in that like sort of lawless port place to then being somewhere else, and then it kind of shoots around a bit. It develops a lot very quickly.
Yeah.
So it steps up the pace a bit. But yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it.
Yes, I'd agree with Dan. I thought a lot was going on. It kind of felt like they were trying to pack too much into it.
Possibly.
Yeah, possibly. I'm glad they brought Baron Zemo back. I really liked him in Civil War, and this series definitely feels like an almost direct sequel to the Captain America films. Like that's kind of what it feels like.
Yeah.
I think I need to watch the episode again because so much was stuffed into it. But what's really funny is I've been saying this the last couple of weeks. It's a great show, but I'm just not as gripped as I was with WandaVision, and I can't figure out what that is. I don't know if it's because maybe I'm better suited towards a slightly more slow burn. I think the fact that it's just jumped straight in, it's like things are happening. Oh my god! Whereas like WandaVision was a bit too slow to start with, but then there was a period between episode like 3 and 6 or so, 3 and 5 or 6, 7, where it just sort of built up at this really good pace. And I think one of the things I'm struggling with Falcon and Winter Soldier is just pretty much intense, just all the way through. And I usually measure my interest, like, not that I'm not interested, but I usually measure my attention span and interest in the show by how much I check my phone. WandaVision, I barely checked it, but I'll be honest, with Falcon and Winter Soldier, I caught myself checking my phone quite a few times. I think just because it wasn't allowing all these things to kind of room to kind of breathe. So it feels as breakneck as Rise of Skywalker. That's kind of the pace of it, and that's not. For me, I'm finding the pace just a bit much. I'd like to see a slower episode and build up to something really like, oh my goodness. So I don't know how they're going to kind of go along with that one. And we got to talk about the cameo at the end. I can't remember her character name.
But the Wakandan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, that was good.
Yeah, interesting to see the link.
I was quite proud of Roosh because he recognised that Wakandan little bee thing straight away. He went, "That's Wakandan."
Really?
Bloody hell. Respect. But yeah, that was quite good. But yeah, it's they're pulling a lot of threads together, and it's like you say, if it's well directed, it'll work. But if it's not, it could all kind of unravel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
I'm enjoying it. So.
Yeah, I'm enjoying the ride. I'm not as gripped as I was, but I think it'll be good once all the episodes are. It'll be good to have a kind of retrospective and talk about it as a whole. Because my thoughts on WandaVision now, especially the ending, as you know, are still frustrated, I think would be the word. I enjoyed the ride more, so I might end up finishing this up going, actually, that's a really. I think it's only going to be. Is it only going to be 6 episodes? I think. I don't think it's.
I'm not sure.
I think Falcon and Winter Soldier is only be 6 episodes rather than 10. I think so. I could be wrong on that, but I think they're longer but less of.
Yeah,
they seem to be stacking up quite a lot of stuff because they got the Loki series, haven't we, coming up? I've seen some trailers for that, very interesting. Tommy Hiddleston, I'll watch anything, I don't care how he'd be in it. But yeah, they seem to be sort of backing stuff up, and it's gonna be interesting when they start bringing the Star Wars stuff, if they start slicing it in between, or they just sort of run it all together. Because there's a lot of they're pushing out look to be pushing out quite a stream of content, so it'd be interesting.
Yeah, all the different characters having their own shows now and stuff. It's interesting.
Anyway, I mean, I'm still enjoying it. So it's not like the best steak you could possibly buy ever in the world, but it's a good quality, like Waitrose Dutch original steak. It's nice, it's good, it's quality.
Yeah.
So
I'd agree.
If I put it in steak terms,
if we put it in steak terms,
for Sam's benefit,
Mando season 2 was like a French restaurant, like top end, like Marseille or Paris.
Yeah, your own personal cow. You choose which bit to slice off, and it's cooked on the thighs of a dusky maiden or whatever. Yeah, that.
Okay. I'd agree with that.
All right. Right. So the other thing I watched this week on Amazon as part of their Prime was a film called The Mauritanium. I think I pronounced that right. But it's based on a true story around someone who was detained and kept in Guantanamo Bay for about 15 years, I think. Right. I mean, he almost got out halfway through, but it's based on that and the kind of setup that was there and things like that, and it's just fascinating. And had Jodie Foster in it as well.
Hey.
So good quality sort of casting. But yeah, I quite enjoyed it. Yeah, I thoroughly recommend that. Anything else on films or short films? Or whatever?
Not short films, but I wanted Elliot to be here because I don't know if he got around to watching Godzilla vs. Kong.
Oh right, because you did it on the big new Mahusi.
Yeah, so
in the garden.
The video coming very soon, guys. By the way, I really love the 2014 Godzilla because it's done by Gareth Edwards, who did Rogue One. And again, we're talking about how I quite like slow burn and builder.
Yeah, was that the one with the I can't remember the name of the Japanese actor in it?
Ken Watanabe.
Yeah.
Let Them Fight. That was him. Because the 2014 one had like a level of finesse, and then you've got Kong Skull Island, which was better than it had any right to be. But that was I like it because it just does its own thing.
Yeah.
And you got King of the Monsters, which I think we talked about this before. King of the Monsters is just kitchen sink, basically. That's kind of what I describe it. And Godzilla vs. Kong, it's both awful and fantastic.
Is that a bit like a high-budget Sharknado, by any chance?
Honestly, we're going to have to put it on a t-shirt or something. Because,
Okay. I still watch it because it's popcorn entertainment. I don't care how it is. I'm probably going to enjoy it because I'm not that fussed.
Well, look, it's better than Independence Day Resurgence, I can tell you that much.
Damned by faint praise.
But I think, Neil especially, I can imagine you doing it's the kind of classic family thing that we all just go, whoa, wow, when like we got big punching matches going on.
God damn.
The last like scene, this isn't a spot, the last scene, which is obviously big things happening. They do it brilliantly. Like it's completely ridiculous. It's kind of like they kind of went, okay, we're not doing Godzilla anymore, we're doing Pacific Rim. That style, very, and not Uprising, because Uprising is terrible, but the first one, the good one.
Yes.
I mean, the first Pacific Rim was good. I still enjoyed Uprising. I mean,
no, it was awful.
What's not to,
Because it was filmed with fake cameras in the way that it doesn't look realistic in the way they shot it. Because all the cameras are zooming around at like their at their head height with the robots, whereas in the first one they're all from perspectives that would make sense.
It's big monsters fighting.
Yes, but it's big. It's like okay,
Robots.
it's like John Wick. If you film something like John Wick badly, it's just a gory action film. But with John Wick, the film the way it is, it's a beautifully crafted piece of art.
Yeah, but I'm not always looking for a beautifully crafted piece of art. Sometimes you want your Tesco $2.99 steak.
Okay, yeah, but you still,
But you can still have the $2.99 steak cake.
It's still a steak.
You can still cook that steak really well.
Yeah, that's it. Have all the sides and everything.
You can still season it, cook it really nicely.
But if you just eat the damn thing anyway, won't you? Anyway,
I mean,
let's stop the steak analogies. I feel we're going to kind of fall off a cliff.
Yeah, well,
Anyway,
but yes, Godzilla versus Kong. I would recommend seeing it. It's good fun.
Oh yeah.
But don't expect 2014 version was trying to be a bit more highbrow, and I kind of prefer that. But this one kind of throws caution to the wind and just does whatever it wants, which I respect.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's a pretty stupid movie. But watching on the big screen, as I said, video coming out on that one, that was really good. And then last night we watched a film that's on Prime called Life with Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh yes.
Oh that was the creepy looking space thing.
Kind of an alien-ish take, wasn't it?
Very much. Yeah. It's Alien meets the Venom symbiote.
Oh Christ!
That's kind of Oh my word! It's I mean, I didn't because the reviews were kind of middling, but actually, I thought it was a really good film. We all really enjoyed it, and it was another one we enjoyed on the big. We did the second night at big screen. And, it was freezing, so we had to do it kind of in the conservatory, looking outwards, which was a bit of a faff, but it worked.
How do you do the sound, by the way, outside?
Projector has a built-in speaker, and actually, the speaker, if you're in a small setting, actually works really well. Oh. I'll talk about that in the video, but it's one of those things where you're balancing the best setup with convenience. Yeah. And actually, if you're all kind of sat around the projector, you can turn it up about halfway. You get enough bass in there, but it's more about just the experience anyway. But it was obviously I'd like to get Elliot in to set up some proper speakers and stuff, but for a kind of pop-up kind of thing, actually it works. I'll show you guys at some point, but it actually works. It works pretty well. So. Yes, Life. If it's on Prime, highly recommend watching Life. It's,
I've been interested in that for a while. If I can get it free, then so much the better.
Yeah.
The other thing I've done, obviously, while I'm down here with Bruce. Is take the opportunity to get him caught up on Expanse and do season 5 again.
Yes.
And must admit, season 5 second time round, still bloody good.
Yeah, pretty good.
And it's another one. I don't know how the Expanse directors do this, but they always ramp it up. They go, and this time it's about episode 4. I think episode 4, everything kicks off.
Yeah.
End of episode 3, you go, oh shit, and then episode 4 it's just like. But we just finished it last night, and it's good. And some of that, there are some moments, but
just a couple.
I can't really give much away. But some of my favourite characters, like Amos, just you get more classic Amos than you could ask for, which is brilliant. So very good. So if you don't know how far you got, Sam, but that's worth sticking with.
So I'm only up at season 1 still. I've just been caught up with a lot of other stuff. It's kind of coming back forward into next thing, so I want to just blast another season.
Yeah. But they take time to develop the characters. Yeah. The kind of
humanity.
Thank you. Of the characters, and that and the kind of relationship and the kind of humour and stuff like that. And there's a great moment. I don't know if this is too much of a spoiler when Amos turns up at sort of lunar base with the politician Avasarala, and he calls her Chrissy, and she goes, "Don't call me Chrissy. I'm not your stripper." And he said, "Can't you be both?" Politician and stripper. And it's the kind of cheek, that
so
kind of.
Good.
I quite like that. And that runs throughout the kind of thing. We were talking about this last night with Bruce in terms of who would you pick as a favourite character or top 3. And the lead role, James Holden, would probably be quite low down for me because there's not much.
He serves his purpose, I feel like, in the show. Yeah. He's a very good leader, and he's a good central character because he's got all the.
It's a bit like Jon Snow in Game of Thrones. I love Jon Snow, but Tyrion outranks him 10 times. Tyrion is interesting and entertaining, and Amos and Avasarala definitely two of my favourites. So But but yeah, it's worth sticking with. And if you don't get caught up in it, yeah, questions will be asked.
Yeah. I don't think, Sam, you've got far enough to meet either of my favourite characters because they come in later on. Because there's the Mars Marine Bobby's the start of season 2. She's fantastic.
Third favourite.
She's badass. She's hot.
Yeah.
She's cool.
She's
and what's Karagi's character? Drummer. I love Drummer. She's so good. She's badass. Both of the badass women are just fantastic.
Yeah. Mind you, this season 5 demonstrated Naomi Nagata how badass
she's
she is.
pretty. Yeah.
She's strong. My French.
Yeah.
So
gonna need the bleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
There's some really good characters. I think if you like that kind of character sort of development engagement, you would enjoy it. Anyway.
Yeah.
So season 5.
I will get to that one. The one thing I was completely different, but still talking about film, obviously. We almost, the film we were going to watch last night was the third Jurassic Park, purely because we only had about an hour and a half window to watch something.
Yeah.
And I was going through because it's some of my friends hate the film and some of them love it. So it's kind of considered like the Phantom Menace of the Jurassic Park films. But I've been going back thinking about those films because there's 5 of them now. We've obviously got Dominion coming out in a year or so. Obviously, the first Jurassic Park, amazing, like the holy grail of just everything.
Early cinema.
Yeah,
especially the T-Rex attack. The way that was,
it holds up so well now.
All the sneaky tricks behind it to make it look as good as it did.
but it still holds up because they know how to use it with just single source lighting. Like it's a real low poly model.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, because of the way it moves and the way it's lit and the combination of animatronic, it just holds up so well.
Yeah.
But now, having rewatched Lost World recently, that was the last Jurassic Park I ever because I missed it for like the longest time. I didn't know it existed until Jurassic Park 3 was announced. I was like, well, hang on a second. Would you remember this? It's like you lent me your old VHS copy.
Yeah, I used to love Lost World. Lost World used to be my favorite one.
It's underrated. Like it's kind of if Jurassic Park is a 5-star, Lost World is a 4-star. I'd say that's kind of how.
I really like Lost World. I think it's really good.
And lots of people hate the San Diego scene, but actually, I think
it's so fun. It's so fun.
It's so good. It's Spielberg at his more popcorny rather than ridiculous. But then you've got the third one, which I think is just seriously underrated. I love the everything. You go back to the same Site B island, and everything's kind of like run down and stuff. And I love the fact that they, the team aren't backed up by, a load of like a big army of InGen or anything. It's just a few of them on there, and it's run down and everything. And people hate the Spinosaurus. Actually, I think the Spinosaurus is really cool, and I'd love to see him come back. Like, I prefer the Spinosaurus to the Indominus for sure.
Would agree.
Yeah. Dominus is a bit ridiculous, isn't it? I mean, come on.
I mean, I love it.
It's the kind of penknife of dinosaurs.
That's it. And then the Indoraptor is like a penknife with like a circular saw on the end of it.
Yeah.
Absolute madness. But then
dinosaurs are badass enough. You don't need to
the final part about the third one is actually again the effects hold up really well, and it's because of the way the Spinosaurus attacking the plane scene. I've watched it several times, and there's that one shot where you can see it. You got a slightly kind of foggy marshland, and it's chasing them. I always remember that shot from the trailer. It's still really quite terrifying.
Yeah,
and I think Jurassic Park 3. I mean, obviously you've got the whole talking raptor, the Alan. That's such a meme. But the third film's good. Obviously, Jurassic World, as we know, is that reignited things, and then. What you guys have all seen Fallen Kingdom, right?
Yes.
Assuming.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of that? Because it goes from being kind of a Jurassic Park film to like a Hammer horror film.
I mean, like any of these things, I'm fairly easily pleased, and it was entertaining. It wasn't the best Jurassic Park, because like honest, but it was still entertainment.
They're definitely entertaining. I do like some of the sort of more horror elements they do at the end with the raptor. Yeah. I do quite like that, but I don't know if it's Jurassic Park, the whole Jurassic World. It's kind of it's I'm mixed on that one. The World series are fun. I think they're entertaining, but if you're gonna go with Jurassic Park, I'd say go with the original 3 because they're all Very good.
I think I'm with you on that. Although to be fair, the most recent one is directed by the one who did Monster Calls, and I know that has an interesting
Yeah. So
impact on you and your
those of
mum.
you who don't know, that's the only film I've ever actually sobbed to. I actually cried a lot at Monster Calls. I couldn't tell you why, but
Oh yeah,
that has a special place on my bookshelf as the
Very
film
good
I've only
film.
ever watched once and can only ever watch once. Otherwise, God knows
Yeah.
what's going to happen.
Yeah, good, brilliant film though.
See, when you said that, like comparing that Monster Calls to Kingdom, I'm like, Kingdom's a few steps down from that in my
Well,
eyes.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
intellectually, it's kind of at the bottom of the well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but talking about horror, it just reminded me actually. We've just done a bit more of Fortitude, and my God, it's getting gory and weird. I mean, I can't really describe the scene in it, but you know, you just think, are they going to show that? Are they just going to kind of? No, they're going to show it. Oh Jesus Christ! You know, it involves a crazy woman, a fork, and someone, you know, who needs a bit of, you know, stomach surgery.
Oh, lovely.
Just that's all I'm going to say. But yeah, that's getting quite strange.
It did sound kind of weird when you brought it up last week. So if it's getting weirder than that,
getting no less weird, but it's still good. It's still interesting, entertaining. We'll see where I am at the end of season 1, whether we go into season 2. But yeah, I'm now wanting it to the weirdness, some answers. The weirdness needs to go somewhere. Yeah?
yes.
And we're not getting them. It's just more weird. What the fuck? Who's that? Why is that happening? So it's getting to. I mean, you have too much of that, you just get fatigued.
Yeah.
You just lose interest. So it needs to start coming up with some answers soon. Otherwise, I think I will. Whether I bother with season 2 or not, I don't know. I don't care if Michael Gambon do it. It's, you know, it needs to go somewhere now.
Yes.
But it's. Yeah, I think it's, if you want something a little bit more challenging, then yeah, recommend it. But yeah, bit more progress on Vikings, but not a lot. I haven't had a lot of time really.
Finished Vikings yet? My goodness.
No, and I did do episode 2 of Line of Duty.
What about episode 3?
Very, very pleased to get Ben Coppers in there. But in terms of the Ted Bingo, we haven't had zero reciprocity yet. Zero reciprocity.
Or Cheeky Wee Show.
So yeah, or Gobshite. So you know, still waiting.
Have you watched episode 3 yet?
No.
Why not?
Because, well, kind of being down here.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, anyway. But yeah, it's episode 2.
Yeah, episode 3 kind of again goes up. Another couple notches. There's
eat some Valium before you see it.
Yeah, there's I've got the character's name now. Kate and the other main character guy.
Yeah.
Whose name I've forgotten. Steve. Are sort of, discovering links and stuff. They're sort of figuring things out, and it's but then there's again Jed doing Jed things of like misdirecting. The characters in the show think they've got the person, but actually it's the person being set up by the actual person, and it's all and there's more relations to season 1 and stuff like that. For those of you who know, they found the freezer. I'm really looking forward to where it goes, because there's obviously there's stuff going on in the background that we don't know about, but there's something going on with the main sort of antagonist character that's, like, to me at least, is not quite right. It's like either she's being manipulated or she's just flat out evil, but we don't really know. and there's lots of good like side stories and stuff going on with all the characters as usual. So it's.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's brilliantly written, but again, they're gonna come to a point where they've got no new ideas.
Well, there's. Is
this the last season?
There's rumours that there are only 1 or 2 more series.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Where do you go? Once you've got the OCG, organised crime group, sorted out, then that's
that's the whole story of the series really, as it's been going on.
Still brilliant. And Sam, if you haven't started that, another one to recommend.
Sam, and anyone else watching Line of Duty, fantastic. Oh, classic English drama.
For me, that's about it on the viewing front. I don't think I've seen or watched anything else. So
no, I don't think I have either, actually. Apart from just rewatching like Scrubs and stuff, but that's kind of such a long-running sitcom. No, that doesn't really count. I think that's it.
I finished my weird basketball series, or the first series of it, on the anime
Weird
front.
basketball series.
I'm weirdly addicted to it. I want to see the next series when I can. I couldn't tell you why. It's just fun, as I said last week. It's just enjoyable.
Yeah.
And I've
Is that
started.
another anime?
Yes,
Yeah. All right.
but it's just good fun. I don't know. It's weird, like superheroes, but not quite, and they're just playing basketball.
It kind of reminds me of like one of the few animes I've seen is that one Food Wars, and it's just like it just turns cooking into this ridiculous, like over the top. Like,
Yeah, it's
thing.
kind of like that. Of like, lots of people's like going for dunks, and then people trying to block and going, "Oh, he's jumping so high," and it's like, all this kind of. It's just enjoyable. It's just really fun to watch. But I have now started a series called Demon Slayer, which is about slaying demons. Funnily enough, and it's set in sort of a more, what's the word, traditional Japan, like old timey Japan. Where they have swords and there's no electricity. And it's
Traditional Japan, swords and no electricity.
Before steam and gas and electricity, that kind of
I'm now picturing some sort of Japan. Japan. I can't even say it now.
Japan.
Japanese tourist board sort of thing about when they advertise coming to Japan. We don't have electricity, but we have lots of swords. So anyway, there we go.
But yeah,
apologies to anyone Japanese and any Japanese tourist boards that are watching. Anyway, there you go. Right, I think it's time to end it there.
Yeah, I think so.
Enough. Anyway, well, here's to next week when everything should be back to normal. I should be back in my normal
abode
bunker.
Yep.
And I might have actually caught up on Line of Duty. You never know.
Let's hope.
I don't know if we'll do a separate video on it, but also a big thank you. We've just hit 1,000 subscribers, so thanks everyone.
Oh yeah,
yeah, we're going to do something for that. We're going to. That's in the works. It's in the works.
Yeah.
We haven't forgotten about you. Thank you.
All right, that's all from
Phase Drive. He's even got the t-shirt on. Branding.
I know.
My goodness.
I don't know.
Right, see you next week.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
No more rubbish. There we go.